Good evening, this is our first news bulletin for 2017. In our news headlines for tonight, Premier Tokitalangi has received a knighthood as part of the New Zealand New Year's Honours List. The introduction of new prepaid power meters will give customers more control over their power usage. Border security officials worked on a multi-agency approach to protect Niue's borders from criminal activities. A Fulton Hogan team assisted with repairs and maintenance to the airport runway. The new year got off to a loud start with the Premier Tokitalangi has received the prestigious title of Knight Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit in this year's New Zealand New Year's Honours List. Tokitalangi is the second Niuean to receive this honour, and he has commented that the title came as an unexpected surprise. During his time in leadership, Premier Talangi has overseen a significant expansion of the tourism industry and the transformation of the public service. He has also been instrumental pushing for the recognition of a number of regional issues such as climate change. He has been a member of the Niue Legislative Assembly since 1999 and the Premier of Niue since 2008. And with this honour comes the bestowed title of Sir. The New Zealand Governor-General Dame Patsy Reedy will also be making her first visit to Niue in March, and plans and preparations for that visit are underway. Households will have more control over the power usage with the introduction of a new prepaid power meter system. The new system is being spearheaded by the Niue Philatelic and Numismatic Corporation, with Niue Power on board to continue with maintenance. These are new changes and an upgrade that will benefit customers and help move Niue forward, staying in line with the rest of the world.
The good thing is the system itself is very, very simple. You put the voucher in, and when you put the voucher in, it tells you if it's accepted or not. So it's a really simple system. It's virtually fail-proof. The only thing that's not so good is if anyone tampers with the meter, then potentially it will shut down. The good change is these meters are installed in the house on the main fuse board, so it means that people can see what's going on their power and if there's any faults.
For the past 3 to 4 months, 10 households around the island have had prepaid meters installed on a trial basis. We caught up with one of the customers who volunteered to have this system installed in their home to find out how effective and efficient it is.
I contested a lot of the readings in the last few years, so I volunteered because I wanted to see another option, and I've found that this meter has worked in my favour, in my interest. It's actually the readings compared to the actual power usage that we had in the last two to 3 months, it confirmed my suspicions that we were paying way too much for our power consumption. If the whole meter system is rolled out across to the whole island, I think it's logical that it be offered by other outlets, little dairies, for example, out in the villages, because there will be incidences where you'll forget that your credit is due to run out, and that might happen just before dinner in an afternoon. So when you hear that beep beep, then that's your cue to run out and get a top up.
Over the years, the Niue Power Corporation has had issues with outstanding debts, but this new system could hold some solutions to that problem. For outstanding bills, every time an amount is deposited into the prepaid card, 10% of the amount within that card will be taken away to pay for any outstanding electricity bill.
Well, one of the things that's been happening over the years is people have been concerned about the level of power they're paying. And obviously with energy efficiency coming in, it's time to upgrade the meters. The meters have been in for a long period of time. And because of the concerns of what they get billed, it was thought that by bringing prepaid meters in, it actually gives the consumer a benefit to understanding what they're using and being able to manage their power bill. No, the prepaid system is going to be for everybody because I think it's a fair offer. And the way we see it is the benefits of prepaid far outweigh the old system, where the meters, as I said, are getting a wee bit old, and therefore there is some or occasionally doubt of what people are paying, this overcomes all those issues.
We use the power as we do any other time. Even there's nothing different about how the power is or if it goes on and off. No, the only difference is I know exactly how much power I'm using because I'm using exactly the amount of power that I've paid for. So I'm confident that I can control how we're using the power in the house. For example, we use only LED and energy-saving light bulbs. We did anticipate an increase in power during the school holidays when there are two big, TV screens going at the same time and the kids are at home. But there's been no disruptions to the normal usage of power in our household since this meter has come in. If anything, it has given me and Des peace of mind that we know exactly how much power we're using. And I suppose it's validation of my suspicions right from the beginning that we were paying way too much for the power that we were using at the time. Sign up. It's for those of you who've had some suspicions that that the black box may not be working or it may be giving out the wrong readings. Any suspicion you have, I think this is a good option to go into. It certainly helped and worked in my favour in our household. So I'd suggest to everybody sign up.
The prepaid meters are to be rolled out to all homes on the island by the end of February 2017. Border control agencies have the huge task of ensuring security, especially with an increase in transnational crimes. The Pacific Regional Immigration Identity and Intelligence Project is a joint initiative by New Zealand Police, Customs and Immigration that started in 2008, covering about 10 Pacific Island countries. Last week, Niue's border control agencies gathered for a 3-day workshop at the Niue Golf and Sports Club to discuss ways to strengthen security operations at the border to help reduce crimes in the Pacific. A multi-agency team from New Zealand were in Niue to facilitate that training.
The main objective is being actually bringing the government agencies together in a workshop and to encourage building of relationships and collaboration and sharing of information. And the second objective is to develop some critical thinking about their roles and identifying risk.
Over the past 2 years, trainings have been held in islands like Micronesia, Samoa and other parts in the region.
Niue is very well placed at the moment. They have what we call a transnational crime unit based here, which is part of our network, which then gives them access to the whole of the Pacific and also to our regional partners like Australia, New Zealand and the US to assist with investigations. But also Niue is uniquely placed that they only have a port where the boat comes in once a month and also 1 or 2 planes a week. So it really situates so that they're able to control their borders. And a big focus of the training this week has been around protecting Niue and its borders, and that's what all the agencies are here are realising, that they're all working together to protect Niue and their borders.
There is a wide range of transnational crimes that exist, but Aaron points out some that are more common in the Pacific.
The first one off is around methamphetamine. We're noticing in the last couple of years this is increasing within the Pacific. Historically, the Pacific is seen as a transshipment point to bigger markets like Australia and New Zealand, but in the last year or so we're starting to see local markets of that to come into the Pacific region. As yet we haven't seen any evidence of that in Niue, because I'm sure that was your next question, but that's one really of concern for us. And with transnational crime, there's a whole lot of things that we're looking at across people smuggling into Australia and New Zealand, also looking at cybercrime, money laundering, lots of different crimes, unfortunately.
Each of the border agencies have powers and information that are vital to security, and the multi-agency approach is important for information sharing between agencies who can pool resources together to become more effective. A team from Fulton Hogan in New Zealand were working to repair and seal cracks at the Hannon International Airport last week. The airport is about more than 20 years old and required some maintenance to ensure that it is safe for aircraft to land. We caught up with the team why they were working last week to find out more about this project.
Some of the work we've done is on the runway sealing cracks, and just beside us here we've resealed the fueling passenger area to ensure it's got some longevity into the immediate future. Every year some sort of maintenance should be undertaken. This airport is now over 20 years old, and it required some basic sealing just to protect it from the water, of which you get plenty here, and those sealant repairs are essential on any pavements.
As one of the main ports on the island, it is important that the airport meets certain requirements that are essential for the airport to keep operating. Throughout this maintenance work, special equipment was also brought in to assist with the project that the government could look at investing in for future.
There are specific items that they will invest in, and so part of this visit is to explore what that needs to be and then work through procurement of those items for the airport to maintain the runway and the pavements. So that's ongoing. The specialist machinery that we bought is just a simple crack sealing machine. Unfortunately that needs to go back, but there are plans in place to maintain the pavement into the immediate future and also long. So those plans are being drawn up and concepted as we speak.
Government officials were able to inspect and witness final checks last week before the team left on Friday. Locals welcomed the new year with the annual Takai event held on the first Saturday of this year. Cars were decorated and motorbikes were red to the extreme as excitement filled the air. Motorists blasted their horns while heading around the island, celebrating and welcoming the new year. The villagers of Awasele and Makifu had their Takai early on the first Friday of the new year, while the rest of the island had theirs on Saturday. Waiya waited until a week later before making their rounds around the island. And according to the Chief of Police, Tony Edwards, he was notified that motorists followed and obeyed the road rules during Takai festivities. However, the police department continues to remind locals and visitors to refrain from using water guns or hoses to squirt water during the Takai because accidents are bound to happen. A good start to the new year, and Niue Police continue with their road safety campaigns. That concludes our first news bulletin for this year. We do hope you have an enjoyable weekend and join us again next week.